40% of all active listings had a price cut year to date, and we're seeing canceled listings are up 17% in the Bright MLS compared to this time last year. So, what does this mean for housing? Well, there's going to be a couple things to look at here. One is that pricing is normalizing. We're seeing much more normalized appreciation through the end of June compared to this time last year, and prices are still going up in the greater Philadelphia area. Now, if we're seeing canceled listings and we're seeing price adjustments, and we're seeing that the average list to sales price ratio went from just over 100.6% in the Philadelphia suburbs to 99.6% this year compared to that 100 plus percentage number last year, we're seeing that the market is starting to change a little bit. And that's going to beg the question, why isn't your home selling? And what's the opportunity here for buyers? So, on the sell side, what we know is it's taking a little longer for homes to sell. Average time on market's trending around 22 days. The expectation among sellers is that over 81% of all sellers nationwide, they feel like their home's going to get at least the asking price. Well, the data indicates we're seeing something a little different. From some perspective, where what happened prior to 2020 was homes sold anywhere from 94 to 96% of the asking price. So that number obviously jumped up to 100 plus percentage points. Well, now we're seeing the market start to normalize. So as a seller, when that happens, I'm a big believer you want to use the pricing strategy to price your home at the most recent comparable sales. So that's only one component, because when a home doesn't sell and we're seeing canceled listings are up over 17%, there's a couple other things you want to consider as a seller. The first is, what's the marketing plan? Most agents have what I call a 3-point plan, where they put a sign up, they put it on the internet, and they wait for somebody to show up. And that's not nearly aggressive enough. There are things that can be done differently to find the right buyer for the home that are both proactive and that are sometimes better positioning, whether it's improved photography, video walkthroughs, targeted ad campaigns, agent to agent marketing. There's a whole slew of this stuff that most agents don't consider. Most agents rely on the MLS to do all the work, and they think the home's going to sell itself. That is bad advice if you're getting that from your listing agent. So I'd be questioning, what's the marketing plan look like? Because if you don't have the right exposure online and offline, that could be why your home isn't selling. The other reason is that it's not prepped properly. Buyers aren't getting the right emotional reaction when they walk through the door. So these are the things you want to evaluate as a seller, seeing that price cuts and price adjustments are up and canceled listings are up. You want to evaluate all three phases. Price is one component. There's marketing and exposure, both online and offline, and the product itself. How well does the home show? Are people getting the right emotional reaction? That's what I'd be talking about if your home's not selling with your agent. Now, the flip side is for buyers, when you see price cuts are increasing, when you see the canceled listings are up, that tells me there's more inventory. We know that's very clear. Inventory is up 13.5% year over year through the end of June in the greater Philadelphia area. That's a big number. Active listing count has grown compared to 22, 23, and 24. It's a shocking number when you talk to consumers. We're seeing inventories growing. Demand has stayed about the same, so that's more opportunity in the marketplace. So as a buyer, I'd be looking at those homes that have elevated days on market. I'd be taking notice that rates came down last week. They came down to some of the lowest levels so far this year, and that helps me have a more affordable payment. When you see these two data points here, you've got to be clear on there's opportunity in front of you, and can your agent help you identify it? Has your agent shown you the 10 different ways to win an offer? Have they talked to you about elevated days on market as a flag to target listings, as places you may want to look at and negotiate? These are the strategies that are available. Strategy is going to matter in a market like this. And if you're not getting these types of strategies shared on the purchase side and on the listing side, it may be time to talk to some other people who can actually help you and develop a strategy other than being an order taker on the purchase side or just waiting for something to happen on the sell side.